Hey guys, this is Melody, and today we're here with another Scrawlrbox video, and this one is for December. For this box, as you'll see, it's a very pastel box. We ended up getting some highlighters, so here's the artwork. It's a very kind of like a doodly style, and here's a little info on the artist there in case you're interested. And then getting into the box, we got 3 sheets of paper, which is quite nice. Last month we got a sketchbook, but 3 sheets of paper is pretty good. The past few times they've given us paper, we've only gotten 2. This candy, I don't really know how to describe it, except that it's sort of like a Jolly Rancher, but not quite as tart. It was a little bit sweeter, I guess. So this first pen that we got was the Pentel Paint Marker Extra Fine Point, and when I was doing swatches later I found out that it's actually a silver pen, which I really liked and thought was cool. Then we also got 2 Sharpies, so one's the Fine Permanent Marker and then one was the Ultra Fine Permanent Marker. Really not that exciting considering this is something that I use at work all the day and that I kind of already have in the house. And then they gave us an extra little picture from the artist, just a little inspiration, and on the back there it basically just says, maybe you could make this your New Year's challenge. As much as I would like to draw every day, I don't think it's practical because there are days where I'm out all day. But, you know, I'm trying to make an effort this year to draw more and really get back into my sketchbooks. So, in addition to those Sharpies, we also got a Pilot Friction Ball Medium. So this is an erasable pen, and it does actually erase pretty well. And then we got the Pilot Friction Light Soft Erasable Highlighters, which again, they do erase pretty well. But as you'll see when I'm doing the swatches, they're really inky, and not necessarily in a good way because they take forever to dry, and they're really easy to smear. The Friction pen really just feels like a normal pen. It doesn't feel like anything special. This paint pen took a little getting into. Once I got it working, it was really nice, but you did have to kind of just keep pressing and holding down in order to get the ink to flow. Here I was just testing to see if drawing with the highlighters over the Sharpie or anything would cause it to smear, because I didn't want to do the line work and then color and then have just black smeared everywhere, which, yeah, we'll see how that goes for me later. And then here I was seeing if blending would be possible, and you can see that these are so inky and take so long to dry that I was actually able to smear them with my finger. So I decided against that because I felt like that would just make a huge mess. And then here I also wanted to see if the ballpoint pen would smear with the highlight over, and it didn't look like it did, but yeah, we'll see more about that later. So here I kind of wanted to just do like a doodle thing, kind of like the picture that we had been given, where it's just like a continuous design in a given area. So I drew this circle to kind of contain it, so I wouldn't do the entire page. And I decided to go for kind of like a daisy style flower because the challenge for this box was pastel petals. So I figure I could do this kind of flower design, add some leaves, and then have it go out throughout the entire circle. This is a style that I used to do frequently because I used to just do a lot of like doodly kind of drawings, and I haven't done it in a while, and honestly I've really enjoyed getting back into it. It's almost kind of meditative because it's just like lines and dots, and it's not like anything is perfect, and that's why it's so great because I do add extra lines on things. So like if something's too small, just, you know, add another line here. So it was a enjoyable experience getting back to this sort of style that I haven't done in a long time, and I've kind of been wanting to get back into it for a while. So hopefully in this new year I'll be doing more stuff like this. And honestly, I really enjoyed the way that this turned out, and I want to do more of these. You'll see in the end I wasn't totally happy with the way that this drawing turned out in all. Like, I feel like it had a really great start, and then at the very end it just kind of went downhill. But they did give me more paper, so I'm hoping to do some more stuff in this style and maybe make some stickers out of it on Redbubble or do something like that. And hopefully this year I can also figure out how to get my head out of the camera so you don't have to keep seeing my hair. So this is what it looked like after I did all the line work. I really liked it. And then this was the problem. I started going in with these highlighters, and on my sketchbook it didn't seem like it was gonna smear going over the friction ballpoint pen, but it definitely did. It wasn't horrible, but it definitely washed out the lines. So instead of them being a nice dark black, it almost turned into kind of a gray, and then it smeared some of the dots a bit. So I wasn't super thrilled about the way that it was turning out with the highlighter, but I also needed to add color. So I just continued on and figured that I could use the really fine Sharpie to go over all the lines when I was done. Honestly, I probably could have stopped before I even added the pink, but I wanted to try to use all of the highlighters. And with the pink, I think it looked okay, but it did definitely add to the smearing. If I had left it white, it would have been a more traditional kind of daisy look, and then I wouldn't have had as many lines to go over, maybe. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna redo this piece or do something really similar because I loved the way it turned out initially, and then there were so many smearing problems. So I think I'm probably going to do it again, but use my Copic markers. because I wanted to use all the markers. I went in with the purple to try to do some like shadows, I guess, but I think it honestly looked better when it was just a flat color. And the problem with these highlighters is that I couldn't make thin lines. It was really difficult. Even when you tried to just use the tip, the ink like didn't really flow. So you have to use the whole chisel, which made it really difficult. So then here I'm trying to go over the lines in the Sharpie because I thought, well, you know, it would make the lines more black, but then it just like, it didn't look great. It was smearing a bit, and I had noticed with the larger Sharpie when I was doing the circle, the ink kind of fanned out into the paper, which isn't great. I at one point brought in my Erin Condren pen that I had and tried to do that because the Sharpie kept not working. I think the highlighters were maybe still a little bit wet on the paper because they took so long to dry that the Sharpie was having problems doing anything on the paper, and it was kind of like tearing up the paper a little bit too. Overall, I think these highlighters are nice, but I don't think they're something that I would use to do a full-on drawing like this, maybe just a little doodle in a sketchbook or something. But here is the end piece of my drawing. In the end, not super horrible. Please give a like if you like this video, comment if you have anything to say, and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys in the next one.